Breaking news. Local woman, 71, passes after long illness. That's what the small town paper said, just a simple line, a neat summary of a life. Susan Whitmore, survived by her husband, Peter. It sounds so final, so tidy. The headline tells you a fact. It doesn't tell you about the silence that now fills a two-story house. The news travels fast in a small community. People stop you in the grocery store, say, "So sorry for your loss, Peter." They see a widower, a man who lost his wife of 4 decades. They see a sad, but expected chapter in the book of life. And that is a loss no headline can ever capture. That's the story, that's the tragedy. But the real story, my story of failure, is just beginning. But as a warning from a man who had it all and didn't realize it until it was gone. My name is Peter Whitmore. I am 73 years old. For most of my life, I thought I was a good husband. I provided, worked hard, paid the bills. We built a life together, 41 years of history. But a history is not the same as a shared journey. My confession, I was a passenger in my own marriage. I was there, but not truly with her. I mistook routine for intimacy. I thought sharing a roof meant sharing our hearts. So this is my story, a confession of inattention, the sin of complacency. Now, all I have left are memories and regrets. We fell into a rhythm, Susan and I. The kids grew up, the mortgage got paid, and life settled into a predictable pattern. I'd come home, she'd ask about my day. I'd say, fine. She'd say, fine. Dinner, news, small talk. It was a comfortable script, safe, no arguments, no drama. I thought this was the goal, but peace can be another word for silence. Stability can be another word for stagnation. We were living parallel lives under the same roof. She had her garden club, her friends. I had my fishing trips, my sports. We orbited each other, rarely crossing into each other's atmosphere. I didn't ask about her books. I didn't know her friends' names. I assumed she was happy. I now see the difference between comfort and connection. Comfort is a worn-in armchair. Connection is a conversation, a dance. I chose the armchair every time. I thought I was giving her a stable life. What I failed to give her was my attention. I gave her the shell of a husband, the part that paid the bills and took out the trash. I kept the rest for myself. The tragedy is, I didn't even know I was doing it. I was on autopilot. I confused the absence of conflict with the presence of happiness, but a relationship can die from neglect just as surely as from a fight. Our marriage didn't end with a bang. It faded slowly, quietly, right in front of my eyes, and I was too comfortable to notice. The end came slowly, then all at once. The illness took its time, stealing little pieces of her day by day. I became her caretaker. I learned to manage her medications, to help her dress, to sit by her bedside and hold her hand. In a strange way, I felt closer to her in those last months than I had in years. I was finally present, but I was focused on her body, on her illness. I was still missing her soul. On her last day, the house was quiet except for the hum of the oxygen machine. Her eyes flickered open. They found me. Her lips moved, just barely. I had to lean in close to hear the whisper. 4 words. I wish you'd danced. And then she was gone. I wish you'd danced. It made no sense. We weren't dancers. What could she possibly mean? I sat there for hours replaying those 4 words. It was a riddle, a final heartbreaking puzzle. Days later, in the emptiness, the meaning dawned on me. It wasn't about dancing. It was about everything else. The trip to Italy she wanted. The ballroom classes she saw in the paper. The small, everyday dances of life. She wanted to dance with me, and I spent our life saying I was too busy, too tired, or just not interested. I refused to get on the dance floor of our own life. After Susan was gone, the house became a museum of missed opportunities. Every object held a story I had failed to be a part of. Travel magazines, dog-eared for places she dreamed of. She'd mention them. "Peter, look at this water. Can you imagine?" I'd glance over, say, "Looks nice, honey," and go back to the TV. I never saw it as an invitation to dream with her. I saw my role as the practical one, keeping our feet on the ground. I never realized she just wanted me to look at the sky with her. I found a watercolor set, still in its packaging. She wanted to take a class. I dismissed it. I failed to see that a person is more than just a wife or a mother. They have their own secret desires to learn and grow. The missed moments weren't always big things. They were smaller, quieter. "Peter, come see this sunset," I'd shout back. "I can see it from here." But you can't. You can't share the awe unless you're standing beside her. I was always in the house, but never in the moment. This is how intimacy erodes. Not with a big explosion, but with 1,000 tiny, silent choices. The choice to watch TV instead of taking a walk. The choice to say maybe later so many times that later never comes. These small neglects build up over time, like plaque in an artery. You don't notice it at first, but slowly, the connection narrows. And one day, you find your heart has been quietly starving for years. About a month after the funeral, I found her journal. I had known she kept one, but never thought to ask what she wrote. Now, holding it, it felt like the only part of her I had left to discover. Her handwriting filled the pages. I started reading from the beginning. She didn't write about anger or resentment. Instead, a gentle, persistent sadness. She wrote about her dreams. The trip to Italy wasn't a whim. She had planned it all. She wrote about wanting to see me try real Italian espresso, to see my face light up. She was dreaming for us. In the margins, maybe next year. Peter's too busy. Each note was a quiet monument to a hope deferred. She wrote about the dancing, heard our song on the radio today. I closed my eyes and imagined us dancing in the kitchen. I was in the next room, probably telling her to turn it down. She wasn't asking for a grand ballroom, just a minute of my time, a moment of shared joy. The most painful entries were the simple ones. Peter was home, but he felt a million miles away. I was there, but I was a ghost to her. A familiar piece of furniture. Reading her words, I realized she hadn't been living with a husband. She had been living with a roommate. Her last words weren't a riddle. They were the title of her journal, a life spent waiting for me to join her on the dance floor. Looking back is painful, but it's all I have left. I spend my days thinking about the questions I should have asked myself for 40 years. When was the last time I learned something new about my partner? Not a fact, but something deeper. People change. They have whole worlds inside them. I stopped exploring the world that was Susan. Another question, am I creating memories or just passing time? Watching TV together is passing time. Building a birdhouse and laughing together, that's a memory. Memories are the building blocks of a shared life. Our photo albums are full of holidays and birthdays. The candid, spontaneous moments are few, and the most important, does my partner feel seen by me? Not just looked at, but truly seen. I saw Susan every day, but I failed to see Susan, the woman who loved poetry, who had a wicked sense of humor. Being seen is the ultimate validation in a relationship. It's the silent way of saying, you matter to me. I used to pride myself on being a present husband. I came home after work. I was there, but being present is passive. A security camera is present. Being engaged is active. It's the difference between sitting in the passenger seat and helping navigate, pointing out sights, singing along. For years, I was in the passenger seat of my own marriage. Susan did all the emotional driving. She suggested friends over, remembered birthdays, tried to start real conversations. I would respond, but rarely initiate. To be engaged means you are an equal investor in the emotional life of the relationship. You are actively looking for ways to connect. You are the one who initiates the dance. Think of it this way, you can be at your child's play, but if you're staring at your phone, you're just present. If you're leaning forward, watching every line, you're engaged. Your child will feel the difference. Susan needed me to be in the audience of her life, watching with my full attention. Instead, I was in the lobby, checking my watch. Love is not a state of being, it's a state of doing. It's the conscious choice to engage with your partner's world, because life is made up of a million little moments, strung together, and if you're not engaged, you'll miss them all. I'm 73, sitting in an empty house filled with regret. I'm telling you this so you don't end up like me. The most valuable thing you have is time with those you love, and it's slipping away. Tonight, when your partner comes home, ask about their day. Really listen. Put down your phone. Buy the concert tickets. Book the trip. Make memories together. My time with Susan is over. I can't go back. Don't wait. Get up and dance before it's too late.